एंड वेलकम टू आवर पॉडकास्ट। जैसा कि हम सभी जानते हैं कि शिक्षा हर व्यक्ति के जीवन में बेहद महत्वपूर्ण है, क्योंकि शिक्षा से वंचित व्यक्ति को जीवन भर कठिनाइयों का सामना करना पड़ता है और एक बच्चे की शिक्षा में स्कूल और उनकी टीचर्स का बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल होता है। और आज हम इसी टॉपिक पर बात करने वाले हैं, जिसके लिए आज हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं श्री विद्या स्कूल की प्रिंसिपल मिस सोमा सिंह, हु हैज़ एन एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ 27 ईयर्स इन द एजुकेशन फील्ड। वेलकम मैम।
नमस्ते सृष्टि, सभी व्यूअर्स को मेरा नमस्कार।
Thank you so much for coming, ma'am. I'm really looking forward to have this wonderful conversation with you. So my first question, सबसे पहले मैं यही जानना चाहूँगी कि आपके स्कूल का नाम श्री विद्या स्कूल ही क्यों रखा? Is there any spiritual connection behind this या कोई thought process ऐसा था? क्या रीज़न है इसका?
That's a very common question, Srishti, that people ask us. So for us, Shri as it is it means, it signifies auspiciousness, abundance, prosperity, beauty, and Vidya means wisdom. So for us, Shri Vidya is a pursuit of holistic education. The motto of our school is Sikshaya Mule Vigyanam. At the root of education lies wisdom. So our school, it fosters the education wisdom beyond rote learning, and it is a holistic approach to education wherein not only that the physical, mental and cognitive development of students is taken care of, but there is the attention to spiritual development, emotional development, the mental development. So a holistic approach to education for us Shri Vidya is.
अमेजिंग, बहुत अच्छा थॉट प्रोसेस है इसके पीछे। श्री विद्या स्कूल आदित्य वर्ल्ड सिटी सेक्टर 5 में है, तो ऐसी क्या खासियत है आदित्य वर्ल्ड सिटी में जो इस स्कूल के लिए एक सूटेबल प्लेस आप लोगों को लगा?
Oh, that's a very relevant question, Shrishti. So what we look at it is that we have a large young population, and the city of Ghaziabad, the old city has got pretty congested, and we see that there are new townships coming over NH24. So we found this as a place where the school will be approachable for the entire stretch of NH24, and we are a school focused at the middle class budget and the middle class needs, their aspirations. So why not be at a place which is approachable, which is affordable, and the school where you can easily commute and communicate.
So in today's time, everybody wants what new you bring to the table. What is the newness? So that is my next question to you. What newness does this school bring to the table? Why is it different from other schools over here?
So, Srishti, Shri Vidya School is an absolute child centered school where we pay attention to their physical development, their mental development, their cognitive development, their emotional, spiritual, and aesthetic development as well. So, this school is offering the flavors from the Panchakoshya Vikas till the artificial intelligence, robotics, coding. So, we are considering the ancient Indian knowledge systems and the technological advancements of today. We have due provisions and routines to bring about that stability among children, that natural blossoming that each child has the right of. So we are providing the environments for the holistic growth of the children. That's where Shri Vidya is differentiated from other schools.
It feels really nice that finally someone is talking about the cognitive development, the mental development, because earlier it used to be you just have to read and you just have to learn and then you just have to write. But now, finally, Sri Vidya School is bringing up the change and I'm so up for it. आजकल के टाइम में ऑल द पेरेंट्स आर कंसर्न दैट देयर चाइल्ड इज़ यूजिंग द मोबाइल फ़ोन, बहुत ज़्यादा दिन रात वो मोबाइल फ़ोन के पीछे हैं। सो ऐसे में फिजिकल एक्टिविटीज़ का बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल आ जाता है, एंड बीइंग गिवन कि एक बच्चे को अपने दिन के 5 से 6 घंटे स्कूल में स्पेंड करने हैं, तो वहाँ पर उसका फिजिकल डेवलपमेंट के ऊपर श्री विद्या स्कूल का कितना ध्यान है और क्या क्या उनके प्लान्स हैं उसको लेकर?
Oh, that's one of my favorite area to talk about, Srishti. And today also we've organized a preschool sports meet at our school.
Wow.
So this is where Shri Vidya School lays attention to that right from the early stages. we include the children as well as their parents into physical activities. That's what our school and the nearby communities witnessed it. So, be it the diet, be it the proper breathing techniques, and be it the physical activities, we have attention to each and every aspect of the development of children. So we have provision for 1 hour of morning sports every day in the school, and then we have the evening sports academies well defined. In addition to that, during the day children have provisions for physical training, for their games, free sports games. So we are all in for ensuring that children are engaged in physical activities and their health is taken care of. And in addition to that, we have lot many programs and processes catering to the health and fitness of their parents as well. You'll be happy to know that we have a project of heart provision, which enables each and every staff, parents, students to pick up personal fitness goal or personal goal for environment or any kind of skill development, wherein they would work on that particular area and they would build it up and they would put up presentations.
That is so innovative.
Thank you so much.
अपार्ट फ्रॉम एजुकेशन, स्टूडेंट्स के ओवरऑल डेवलपमेंट के लिए आपके स्कूल के क्या क्या प्लान्स हैं?
So, Srishti, we have the due provision for some bagless days in our school where children don't carry bags and they do participate in number of activities. And our class presentations enable each and every child to get a stage exposure. We believe that each person's growth is defined by their experiences and their exposure. So, we intend to provide the maximum exposure through the educational excursions, through the participation into different activities within the school, outside the school. We have partnerships with National Science Center, with British Council. We have projects going on with Microsoft and lot many other educational bodies. So we intend to provide our students maximum exposure, lot of engagement and attention paid to each child so that their individual interest and their individual capacities and capabilities can be maximized. Apart from that, I've shared with you that our Project of Heart Festival would enable children to participate in different projects. Our focus is not only on rote learning, that the children would only be assessed based on what they learn and what is their rote memorization, but we have 2 projects in a year that each child would complete. So our approach is project based learning, and they'll not only be assessed through the tests that they write, pen and paper test, they'll be assessed in a formative manner through these projects that they perform. And we would have morning assemblies, we would have quizzes very frequently. There are subject wise week celebrations so that children's interest in different subjects can be catered to and their capabilities in those different areas of interest can be captured. So the school would be full of engagement across the academic calendar, and the growth and development of each child in their area of interest and potential will be catered to.
I really like the plan that you guys are up to. So, one general question. Basically, when we are in school, when we are in class, there are mainly 2 types of people. One who are very outgoing, जो जाएगा हर activity में participate करेगा, and other one who hides behind everyone and they don't want to face the class, they don't want to face the camera. To motivate those type of students, what steps do any school should take or your school is taking?
Right. So, Shrishti, what happens is our personalities are built generally till the age of 7, and the children need a lot of exposure at that time. I remember when I was a young girl, I was given a lot of stage exposure, and hence there was no stage fright. So, we are providing the stage to each child in the form of class presentations, solo activities, wherein the child gets a stage to perform at a very young age. And you would be happy to know, Srishti, that we are setting up a Montessori lab. And the approach of Montessori system is that there is a set of activities, and there are numerous activities,
Okay.
and the children have probability of selecting any activity. So they
That
go
is
to the
amazing. Yeah.
Montessori lab, the activity room, they pick up their favorite toy or any article, they play with that, they fiddle with that, they perform any activities, and teachers simply observe children. And based on that experience of the children, the learning outcomes are built. There are role plays. We are setting up a mini kidzania for children.
Wow. In the school
Wherein,
itself.
yes, in the school itself. So, wherein children will perform as the different occupations, and they will have that feel. So, by and large, we have provisions for overcoming this stage fright, the shyness, but at the same time, we do appreciate the basic human nature. Each child is different, and they need to be accepted and appreciated the way they are. And that's what our belief is, that's what our core motto is, that every child is embraced and accepted in their true self and groomed into their natural individual potential.
Very amazing. Like, as it should be like this only. Like, nobody should be forced to be a certain way. A few minutes before, also, we were talking about a modern and traditional techniques कि दोनों के ऊपर focus किया जाएगा. So, how do we create a balance between both of them?
So, Shrishti, the young generation of today has to live in this world. And we, as educators and parents, must stop fiddling with the children's natural growth. So, we must not expect them to live in the past that we've lived. Mostly, we have a habit of comparing. So, they are the children of 21st century. They are the technology natives.
Exactly.
Whereas we were the people who just transited into this phase. So they have to be accepted like that, and therefore children must use a lot of technology, but they must be trained, and they must be supported and helped to regulate their uses of technology. They must be able to experience that physical sports games that we were talking about. They must be able to spend time in, say, reading. So we have a very robust reading program. And our belief is, if children are given exposure to a varied genre of reading, and they pick up their interest in reading up till the class 5, they would become researchers, they would become learners, inquirers for a lifetime. And then we would not struggle with controlling their uses of screen or technology. They should be given freedom to use technology, explore technology, research through technology, but they must be developed into thoughtful individuals who can regulate their own behaviors, their own habits.
Truly so.
And you would be happy to know that we have provisions. Mostly what we talk about aspirations. So parents have aspirations about children, the schools have aspirations about children, but nobody handholds these children into translating those aspirations into their personal goals, and nobody further trains them into breaking those lifetime goals into the smaller yearly goals, those yearly goals into those monthly goals, and those monthly goals into those weekly goals or daily goals. So we have our curriculum catering to that. So
Okay.
when the children would have well defined short term, long term, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly goals, I'm sure they'll regulate their education, their exposure, their experience very well. And we're confident that Shree Vidyans tomorrow would be the leaders not only in the country but across
Wow.
the world.
Amazing. So, as we are talking about how things have changed, as how time and how study curricular has changed. So, my question to you is, if you compare to your school time and today's current school time, so I would want you to name 3 things जो आपको लगता है कि पहले के टाइम में होनी चाहिए थी जो अब हैं, like the comparison.
Right. So, first and foremost, I must confess this today's young generation is far more smarter than what we've been in our school time. But their lives are so restricted.
Is it?
Yes, we consider that the children answer back and then they ask us questions, therefore, they're more free, but they're not. When we were young, we had an opportunity to play freely with our friends, with our cousins. Today, particularly with the nuclear families, children don't have many go to people.
True.
And with both parents working in certain families, children spend most of their time after school with the household help, and therefore they don't have an emotional vent. And it is important for schools to provide them that
Exactly.
comfort. It is important for teachers to treat children with respect as grown up beings, because they can't be mature to your age, but whatever age they are pretty mature to their age. And with technology, internet being there, they're exposed to a far wider world that we in our times were. So we can never ever limit their thought process with our own thought process of those years.
Those years, yeah.
So there has been a paradigm shift in the generations and in the world that the present generation belongs to, and therefore that paradigm shift has to be seen in schools, in classrooms, in the school boundaries, and beyond the school also. So I believe we as Shree Vidya School are nailing it the right way, that we treat our children as young, mature beings and respectfully.
Amazing. And it should be like that. I feel you guys are setting the benchmark for other schools, and I would be happy to see the change.
Yes, indeed, Srishti. We're happy to set the stage. We feel that Sri Vidya is not a school, it's a movement that we are initiating in catering to the emotional health of children. The scenario today being such that children are stressed out, not only with their parents' aspirations, but their own aspirations also. Since their world is wider, their aspirations with their own self, their expectations with their own self are too high, and they burn out a lot in this. We want to bring them that experience that you are not individuals who have to become something. You have to be who you are. And when you are being who you are, you will certainly become what you want to become.
Wow.
And what you head your mind to, what you set your goal as.
Amazing, amazing. So as we are on the sports page कि क्या स्पोर्ट्स होना चाहिए, तो स्कूल में क्या क्या स्पोर्ट्स की फैसिलिटीज़ हैं और फिजिकल एजुकेशन के लिए आपके आगे क्या प्लान्स हैं?
Great. That's again my favorite question because बच्चों को खेलना पसंद होता है और होना भी चाहिए, और बच्चों को खेलने कूदने के लिए स्कूल्स को फैसिलिटीज़ देना बहुत ज़रूरी है. तो हमारा एक आउटडोर स्पोर्ट्स फील्ड है जिसमें हमने एक फुटसॉल कोर्ट, बास्केटबॉल कोर्ट्स और वॉलीबॉल, हैंडबॉल, बैडमिंटन, नेटबॉल, सभी के प्रोविजंस रखे हैं.
That's a lot.
लोग बच्चे बैडमिंटन भी खेलेंगे, बच्चे क्रिकेट की प्रैक्टिस भी करेंगे, क्रिकेट के नेट्स हम लगवा रहे हैं. कुछ इंडोर गेम्स, ताइक्वांडो, स्केटिंग, चेस, टेबल टेनिस भी बच्चों के फेवरेट्स होते हैं. सो ये जितने भी बच्चों के फेवरेट गेम्स होते हैं उनका प्रोविज़न हमने अपने यहाँ पर रखा है. बाकी हम बहुत सारी एकेडमीज से भी पार्टनरशिप करके बच्चों को बेस्ट ट्रेनर्स, बेस्ट कोचेस देंगे, और इवनिंग स्पोर्ट्स एकेडमीज भी स्कूल के कैंपस में रन करेंगे, जिससे कि जो बच्चे स्किल्ड होंगे, जिनमें टैलेंट होगा स्पोर्ट्स का, वो भी कल इंडिया के मैप पे या वर्ल्ड के मैप पे अपना एक स्टैंप लगा पाएँ. तो हमारा काम है कि हम उनको एक स्टेज दें शुरू में तैयार होने के लिए, परफॉर्म करने के लिए, और आगे फिर हम उनको फ्यूचर में अपनी ब्लेसिंग्स के साथ उनके पोटेंशियल को कंप्लीटली एक्सप्लॉइट करने के लिए रेडी करें.
इन टुडेज टाइम अगर कोई बच्चा घर से बाहर निकल रहा है तो पेरेंट्स आर वेरी वरिड कि इफ इज ही इन द राइट हैंड्स, इज ही गोइंग टू द राइट प्लेस. तो डिसिप्लिन और सेफ्टी, ये तो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ें आ जाती हैं एज अ कंसर्न फॉर द पेरेंट्स. तो स्कूल में सेफ्टी के लिए क्या क्या स्पेशल प्रोविजंस रखे गए हैं?
ये सृष्टि बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है आज के समय में.
ट्रू.
क्योंकि जो समाज है उसमें बहुत सारे थ्रेट्स हैं, और नहीं भी है, तो और बच्चे छोटे होते हैं तो उनको बहुत ज़्यादा एक्सपोजर जब तक नहीं होता, जब तक वो इंडिपेंडेंट नहीं होते, तो उनकी सुरक्षा के सारे इंतज़ाम बहुत ज़रूरी हैं. एंड आर अटेंशन टू द फिज़िकल सेफ्टी ऑफ चिल्ड्रन, टू द इमोशनल सेफ्टी ऑफ द चिल्ड्रन, So it is there, and we have a CCTV enabled campus. We have a POXO committee in place where
Wow.
children can report to the in charge teachers, the counselors, and even the student representatives would be the members of POXO committee. There will be very seamless communication with the parents through the ERP system, and the children in their early years would be trained into being open in their communication. Mostly the parents and the teachers are not able to notice those subtle changes that happen in the children when they are threatened by anything,
Or they are facing any
so
problem
yeah,
or
when they're
something. Yeah.
facing any issues or any kind of threat. So that communication of the teacher and the children is very very important here. So, and communication of the parent and the children, so that's for their emotional comfort. And of course we have a suggestion box, so any child, or a complaint box rather, I don't want to call it, it's a suggestion box. Any child, if they feel any threat and they cannot open up, they're facing bully or any other such threat, they can come drop a chit there anonymously or with their name, where they seek support, and they can seek support. School counselor would be available for children to help them in their any kind of difficulties that they would face. And on top of all this, we have a well placed school health program.
Okay.
And that school health program takes care of all aspects of their growth and development. For example, children face a lot of threats while they're growing up in their teen years.
In their teenage,
If they're not educated properly, then they go to the incorrect means. They inquire with their friends, or they go to the media. They fall prey to the pedophiles over the. So threat is not only in the physical world, threat is in the cyber world also.
True.
So we are taking care of that cyber safety of the children by educating them at the same time, and by providing them that comfort that they could come share.
That's so comforting to listen from the principal itself, that she is very concerned about the overall development, overall problems of the students and the parents as well. स्टूडेंट्स और टीचर्स का ओपन कम्युनिकेशन तो इट्स गिवन कि इट इज़ वेरी नेसेसरी, बट उसी के साथ साथ पेरेंट्स का और टीचर का कम्युनिकेशन भी आज के टाइम में इक्वली इम्पॉर्टेंट है. तो हम उसके ऊपर कैसे फोकस कर रहे हैं?
देखिए, हम पेरेंट्स और टीचर्स पार्टनर्स होते हैं बच्चे के ग्रोथ और डेवलपमेंट को इंश्योर करने के लिए. और कई बार ऐसा होता है कि जो एफर्ट्स पेरेंट्स करते हैं वो schools happen to undo their efforts, or the efforts of schools are undone by the parents. Therefore, we have a robust parent communication, parent engagement. So we've already started upon our parent engagement sessions. So we have provisioned for the regular parenting sessions. So where we don't only advise parents कि ये करो वो ना करो, but we share with them what exactly parenting is like. So the thing is that there's no module for parenting. Each child is different, and therefore every parent has their own model of parenting. But with the kind of paradigm shift that has happened over the generation, the influence of technology, the internet, many a times the parents are not equipped enough, they're not abreast with the current changes in the way the society
has evolved
works, or the children are exposed to different kind of. So when the parents exposure doesn't match the child's exposure, the conflict happens between the child and the parent feels absolutely helpless and hapless. What do I do? Particularly with the preteens and the teenagers, this happens. So we have the regular parent teacher meetings to inform parents of their child's development, but more important than that is our calendar with parent education. So where we make them aware of what are the developments that are happening in education, what is the NEP like, what does the National Education Policy, which has been rolled out in 2020, expects the Indians to become, as the world leaders, and at the same time subtly and softly helping parents in dealing with these regular parenting challenges if at all they require. Apart from that, we organize several cultural events where parents come, be a part of, enjoy. What is important on part of parent is, rather than taking charge of the child's academic process, academics the school takes care of. All that is required is that the child goes home and communicates with the parents what they're learning, and make parents also a part of the learning journey,
Yeah.
and the parents to be relaxed that the child is heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
So rather than that the parent is looking out for coaching centers, tuition centers to support the child's academic journey, it should be that parents are supporting the academic journey of the child just by engaging with the child in that journey. So the child may take an interview for a grandparent, for a parent, to find out what were the life like in their times,
Yeah.
the grandparents' time, what were the modes of communication, transport, different things. Children learn a lot from these conversations rather than learning those questions and answers. And I am dead against the tuitions and coachings that the parents feel that they would send the child for coachings and tuitions and the children will learn. That is absolutely not required, because our teachers in the schools are trained. They're trained into national education policies, they're trained into national curriculum framework, they're trained into pedagogies, they're trained into skills. The tutors are not trained into all that, and that really leads to conflict in the child's learning process. Another thing what happens is the child comes to believe, if they're going for tuition, that the school homework is taken care of by the tutor, and therefore they don't own up that responsibility for their own learning process. So for us, homework wouldn't be that you write this many questions, these many answers from the book. It should rather be that what experience we are giving to the children, they're able to involve, engage into some independent thinking, and they're able to express themselves. So the vision of the team at Shree Vidya is making children that those independent thinkers who could regulate and manage their own learning journey with the support of teachers and parents. So our we have a very robust parent and teacher engagement program.
That is so good. That is really, really impressive. So we have talked about the vision, the mission, the facilities the school is providing. Now, tell me more about the fee structure and the scholarship programs if we have.
So, like I said, Srishti, the school is an affordable fee structure to fit the middle class pocket, and we have lot many scholarships on the, not only on the admission fees and all, but we have scholarships on the tuition fees, as big as the 30% and the 50% bracket, to fit and to support the meritorious students. So these children who have a merit in any aspect of education, be it into the sports field, be it into academics, be it into the cultural fields, so they would be duly supported with the scholarships.
Amazing.
So school has provision for reward systems and merit scholarships for children.
That's so good. श्री विद्या स्कूल अभी प्री नर्सरी से 8th स्टैंडर्ड तक है, तो स्कूल के आगे के प्लान्स क्या हैं?
So, Srishti, we want to set Shree Vidya School as a role model in terms of nature education. Children becoming sensitive to the environment. This will be the legacy of Shree Vidya School. Lot of emotional support, spiritual development, facet to the middle schoolers, particularly in the pre-teens, the children face. They have a lot of questions rolling up in their minds, what life is about, what their individual identity is. So once we establish into this, going forward, we would be going in for the CBSE affiliation for grade 10 and 12. And Shree Vidya will grow up to be a school for the entire schooling journey of the education. And you would soon find the Shree Vidyans stepping out of the portals of Shree Vidya School, ruling the education segment and becoming leaders of the society in tomorrow's.
Definitely. we will see the new leaders and we'll happy to be spotting them and making the change in their country. So that is it for the today's podcast. Thank you so much, ma'am. I really had an amazing time with you. Such insightful conversations.
Thank you, Srishti, for inviting me to this podcast. It was lovely conversing with you and sharing what Shree Vidya School is all about. I can talk about this school that we're creating with a lot of emotions and love. And you're most welcome to visit the school.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Truly, the mission, the vision that Shree Vidya School is coming up will make the changes and in the true positive sense. So I'm really, really impressed and I'm really looking forward for this school. Thank you so much. That is it for today. We'll see you in the next podcast.